I don't know what is possessing our studio today, but you guys are about a week early. What is going on?
You've gone back crazy.
Only the shadow knows, I guess. I got to kill the spider first. What do you think?
I just wish you'd get the bird out of my hair. The bat.
Isn't he so cool looking?
It's Pandalurium in the studio.
That one's gone. Good.
Good morning.
Good.
Can we do something with the bat?
No.
He's going to nest in my hair.
No, he won't. You know, they're all right. They don't do much damage. Not too often. Generally, they're pretty passive unless you jump around a lot. So don't move. You just don't really need to be moving.
Turtleneck.
Don't move too much now, because you know what's going to happen if you move. It's going to be a problem.
Look, I had to come in the studio on my knees this morning. The lights were off. There was things flying all around. There was weird noise, and I was like, I have a gun.
What weird noise?
Yeah, it was. You had weird noises from the moment I got out of the truck.
I don't know. Well, anyway, it's finally Friday. It's game night. Heated seats, popcorn, hot chocolate.
And
Greenville's D.H. Connolly team is coming to Jacksonville, doing everything that they can to spoil our perfect season. Connolly and Jacksonville High are tied with 3 conference wins, no losses, while Connolly has lost 2 non-conference games. Jacksonville has lost none. Game time, 7 o'clock, whether you're a JHS graduate or not. It would be great to have you in the home stands to cheer on the Cardinals. And a good Friday morning to y'all. And TGIF, I'm Rayford Brown, surrounded by fellow Cardinals and a couple of bats they got out of the attic.
Good morning. I'm Curtis Marks.
Good morning, I'm Lee Barris.
That's the best you can
when
do.
you said I'm Rayford Brown with a couple bats or whatever, I was like, what?
Good morning.
I said surrounded by fellow Cardinals and a couple of bats.
Okay.
You're a Cardinal.
Just want to make sure we got that clear. I'm a Cardinal, not a bat. No, you just don't know walking in here this morning. It was
dark when she walked in this morning, and then I heard obscene words coming from her.
They were not obscene. No, I opened the door and I just stood there on the outside going, I have a gun. What's going to jump out at me? And then these things started flying all around my head.
I think they're cute.
Yeah. I was busy petting the spider outside on the fence.
And the dancing spider.
Yeah.
So
there was a dancing one?
That one.
Oh,
it was funny though.
I was petting a little one about yay big.
Oh, that one. Oh,
it was funny the look on your
you
face.
got the wrong one.
When you opened the door, the look on your face. That was. I wish I had captured that.
You should have seen the look on Lee's face. You want to see it again?
No.
I've already got it over here. No. It's captured. Yeah, she was. It was interesting anyway. Okie dokie.
Oh, my heart. Okay, it's Friday.
Yeah. We're through. We'll be after 5 o'clock today, 4 o'clock today, with the first week of early voting, first full week of early voting.
Let me tell you, I was so disappointed. I went and worked the polls yesterday for my candidate that I'm working for, and there was more poll workers than there were people coming to vote. By the end of the day, which was, I think, yesterday was the 6th day of voting.
Yeah.
And we've had a total so far, and for all the municipalities that have races, 410 people That is almost less than 1% of those eligible to vote. That's all I've got to
I'm
say.
telling you again, the early voting
It's a waste of time.
is a waste of money.
2 weeks?
My money.
Yeah.
How much has the first 6 days cost?
Well, while I was there, I
Not the
decided
candidates, the taxpayers. How much does it cost the taxpayers to put people at that poll? Well, there's only one, but to keep it manned, to do operations.
Well, I will tell you that while I was there, I took a slow moment, which there was plenty of them. And I said, let me go in there and do my vote because I only have one race to vote for. 2 out of 3 names, one race.
Yeah.
So I had to go in and draw 2 circles if that's what I wanted to do.
You got to draw circles now?
Yeah, they want to color in the circles. They even gave me a crayon. But there was probably 10 people in there working. 10 people in there working.
Just for you?
Just for me.
You were special. Did you wear a crown or anything?
No, but I did ask them, do I need instructions on how to do this? You know, here's your one race that you're voting for. I just like, I'm all in favor of early voting, but 2 weeks of it, we did not need that. And I know that the state sets forth a lot of rules and stuff, but I think 1 week, Monday through Friday, half a day Saturday, boom. That's the most that we should.
So at the end of today, maybe they'll have 500 based upon that number that you.
Maybe 500. Yeah,
so 500.
I have a question.
Go with
Is there a reason that there's no early voting on November 3rd? Is it because of November 4th?
They got to move the machines and everything.
They have to move the
Okay.
machines, plus they have to make sure that everything they have from early voting is in order, and all those votes are in the machine. Those votes will stay in the machine until they start running the stuff on Tuesday night. Usually the very first count that you get on Tuesday night at 7:30, if you hit the refresh button, or all the early votes rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the evening, which this one should be fast Tuesday night because you only have like 14 polls open.
I mean, I could hand count
I was getting ready to
410.
say.
I could hand count
Hand count
410 in 30 minutes.
I just think it's such
Less.
a waste of money
Yes, it is.
to have so many days of early voting.
So what is the excuse for having early voting?
Is to give people the opportunity because, well, or think about it this way, Rayford. I mean, back in the day, we used to have 1 day of voting, but and there were lines. But think of it now. Can you imagine the lines now? If everybody came out on the same day, plus you're working all day long, you've got to take off from work, got to drive over there, you got to vote.
Mhm.
You're in lines for 4 hours.
Here's my question for you. How many more people vote now, percentage-wise? You can't count because there are more people and more voters, but what is the percentage of the registered voters who actually vote today on these 75 days of voting
75.
and election day, as opposed to just election day 13 hours that there used to be? Has anybody done the math on that one? That would be interesting, would it not?
I'm sure that somebody could, and they have to dig back through. But a lot of the records on voting only date back so far online. So the rest of those past that, you would have to go
To one of those
paper
infamous
records.
cardboard boxes
Yes.
where the rats are in it.
And let's not talk rats. We've
They
got
eat their way
bats in
through
here
cardboard
this
boxes. I don't know why they use cardboard boxes. Rats love them.
morning. Hey, I'm gonna
Roaches do.
stop.
Bats really love them.
Let's go back to talk about tonight. We failed to mention one thing about the ball game tonight.
No, we haven't failed.
You're
We
going to do it?
We just haven't gotten there yet.
Well, when you're ready,
Mhm.
I'll let you do it.
Okay, I just want to get through this voting. You guys take advantage of this opportunity. No,
Right.
there are not going to be 14 miles of lines on the 4th of November, the day that the official voting occurs. But there's always the opportunity. I don't know about y'all. I failed to vote in 2022.
You will.
I failed to vote in 2022 because they wouldn't let me out of the hospital because I was waiting for a quadruple bypass. I normally vote on election day and election day only. I made a promise to myself at that point in time that won't happen again. So I will vote.
In my life,
a
I've
few
only
days early.
missed one time, and that's my daughter when she was a baby. She was in the hospital,
Oh, okay.
and I chose to stay with her
Well, good
rather
for
than
you.
go vote. But that is the only time I have ever missed voting. I feel like it's my civic duty. Plus, it makes me proud to go in there and cast a vote for people that I believe in
Yep.
and that I hope do a good job.
You ever vote against people? Don't you hate my questions?
Say yes. Say yes.
Truthfully, yes.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
even have
yeah.
to ask you.
If
'Cause
you're
you and I
voting,
both the same way.
well, yeah. Now, in the general, when you go in there on the actual day of vote, well, when you go in there early voting, you have generally two names in a race.
Mhm.
You know, like on a big election, you have the Republican and you have the Democrat, and you may have a Libertarian, Green Party, Constitutionalist, or whatever. And so, if you vote Republican, you're actually voting against the other. So,
Right.
yes, I have. So, yeah.
But did you intentionally vote Republican because you voted against the others? And since you're a Republican, have you ever voted for a Democrat in a general election because you didn't like the Republican that was running? Be honest.
I will honestly say, and I've already been told I'm a rhino anyway, but I have a couple years ago, there was an election and the Board of Education, and there was a Democrat that was running, and this was in the general election, and I felt extremely confident. I really liked the person, and I felt like they were honest and they had a lot of integrity. So it was vote for. I had three Republicans
God, I
that
was
were
hoping she was going to say no because I was going to call her out.
and the fourth was a Democrat. But
And then that's not the only race. I'm going to put $1 up here right now
I'm
on the
what-
table that
what?
I can give you another race that you voted for a Democrat up over a Republican.
There's the dollar.
now are you talking party against party? I think it's the only time I've ever voted for a Democrat, and that was in that race.
Did you ever vote for Ernie Lee when he was a Democrat?
Oh well, that was. But let me tell you,
Don't ever challenge me. You'll
But-
lose.
But Ernie Lee was always the only one up until the last election that was on the ballot.
Uh-huh.
And you're right. Yes, I voted for Ernie Lee when he was a
I
Democrat.
rest my
I would
case, Your
vote
Honor.
for him again if he
What do you
was a
think?
Democrat. I didn't even think about that.
I knew where you were going.
I think about everything.
could have warned me.
I did warn us. Okay.
Don't bet a man in his own
I
game.
feel like
That's
I'm being batted
that's-
this morning.
the rule. Never bet a man in his own game. You will always
Blah,
lose.
blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, tonight.
But you did the same.
Let me just get real quick on this for
I wasn't
voting
a
and stuff,
Republican.
and the party lines and this gerrymandering and all this stuff going on. Don Davis did such a good job last night of acting.
Oh. No, I like Don Davis, but
Well, he just did the crying, the blues of this is just it's just going to affect the people in my area. That I'm not going to be able to sit there for the 14,962 people and help them like I am now.
Boo-hoo.
So he was saying that before the maps were changed, that district was made to give him the votes in the past.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well,
Isn't that why the lines are being redrawn? Is to take it away from him?
yeah, the Republicans are doing that. But let me tell you what, you go back to the 60s and 70s.
It's going to come around again, same way.
It's going to come
It's the
around.
It is the same
Democrats
old story.
did the same thing in the 60s
Same
and
old
70s.
story.
And so now that the Republicans have control, they're going to go after
I just want to
everything
know
they
when
can
we, the people,
get.
the biggest group, I wonder when we going to redraw the lines. I want to redraw some lines.
yeah.
Why don't you let me do it my way?
It brings up this one real quick.
I'm open for
Oh.
bribery.
So everybody's talking about the East Wing being redone,
Oh, God.
right? No, give me a second. Just
No,
a second.
we're going to go
Okay.
there. We're
Okay.
going to go there. So may as well do it.
It's all being done by donations from donors.
Yep.
Don't matter who they are. It's not costing the taxpayers a penny, if I understand correctly. Correct?
Yeah.
Well, people are forgetting back FDR when he built the West Wing.
Mhm.
That was at taxpayers' expense. Obama's basketball court was at the taxpayers' expense. Nixon's bowling alley was at the taxpayers' expense. This wing that's being built for future presidents to use, which was needing repairs anyways, not costing the taxpayers a penny.
Well, let me go. Here is a CNN report that was just sent to me by one of our listeners. It's a CNN report from 2010, $376 million White House renovation during the Obama administration. Where was the outrage then?
Well, let me
Thank
go.
you, Satan.
You ready for the old guy to get it here and at least a nickel's worth before he croaks? To bring you up to speed, y'all, construction crews have been working on demolishing, tearing down, making havoc of the East Wing facade this week. Started it on Monday. Part of the planned ballroom project, Trump's ballroom project. That's what they're calling it, not me. Historic preservation groups, some lawmakers, and social media users voiced immediate criticism after seeing images of oh God, it's coming down. That's a place of history. The White House did issue a statement defending the demolition, saying the new ballroom is a privately funded addition, like we just talked about, you mentioned, meant to echo the storied history of improvements and additions by presidents to the executive residence. There's a lot of history in doing things like this. The statement called criticism unhinged and accused media outlets of overreacting. Okay, I got time now, right? A couple of points. You ready?
Yep.
One of them I made in response to a caller yesterday already. I think that when the government at any level depends on private donations to construct government structures, that when we might have a slippery slope in the future to navigate. Do those making the contributions have a say in what is to be constructed and what's to be destroyed and how it should look? Who has a say in that? Okay, that's one. Because what if the KKK, as a big old group of people, I loosely call them people, comes up with a lot of money to erect a statue to past members of the Klan? How about that? But then, as a gentleman that I have come to really like because he thinks on his feet, Josh Hawley. You know him?
Yes.
Josh Hawley.
Yes, I do. Yes.
He responded to criticisms from a reporter that the new ballroom project is destroying a piece of history. Maybe not. Is the East Wing, as it now stands, a viable structure, as it now did stand prior to Monday? Is it a viable structure? Apparently, according to reports, no. Could it be restored to be useful? Or is it just another old building that some politicians gathered in to drink and shoot pool at some point in time in the past? Was it ever anything so historical other than it was there for a bunch of people that we have no idea who their names are anymore, nor do we even care? And as Hawley pointed out quickly, for you naysayers, those liberals today who think that anything Trump does is wrong and that this valuable piece of our nation's history should stand forever. You mean like the statue of Robert E. Lee? Statues of other men who fought gallantly in the Civil War for a cause that the naysayers today don't even support? But were they of historical importance regardless of that? Not to some folks. A split number of people in this country today do not agree with taking down Robert E. Lee's statue, moving it to some place of lack of importance. Even in the South, there are people who want to do away with those things. But did they destroy stuff like that? Have those historical statues been destroyed? Yes. Many of them are gone. Totally. So there is precedence in destroying history. What historical events ever occurred in the East Wing that are so notable that I can give you, who can give you the most important historical event that everybody knows about in this room and across the land that happened in the Oval Office?
In the Oval Office? John Jr. Running around in the office when his daddy was
that's
there.
just a little old thing. But
You
you know
talk
what I'm
about
talking
Bill.
about. Billy Bob.
Billy.
Oh.
Bill and Monica.
Well, I don't have a
More,
cigar on me,
more
but
people know about the good. The more people know about that, and then know about John Jr. in the Oval Office.
I was just getting ready to put on my chapstick, and then you brought that up, and I was like, no.
I can't top that one. I'm gonna lower the string on that bat so you'll come closer.
I'm going back crazy. I was like, oh, no.
My 2 cents worth, folks. You're free and encouraged to disagree, and like it or not, that's what this nation and this show are all about. We agree that you should disagree. I hope you can understand. We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it calmly on this end until you go crazy, until you make allegations that are unfounded about me or one of these crew members. We have a right to our opinions, and you have a right to yours. I'm not going to beat you about your head. I'm not going to accuse you of never having a mother or a daddy.
Oh.
I'm not going to do things like that. Because I respect you having the right to have an opinion. Do I have to agree with your opinion? No more than you have to agree with mine. That's what this is about, y'all. We have freedoms. There's written all over your shirt.
yeah. So, folks, you got the freedom to give us a call at 910-333-0139.
Just don't get your drawers in a wad when
Oh.
we disagree with you.
Get your knickers in a knot.
What a
Oh,
Friday.
thank goodness it's Friday.
What a Friday.
I'm crying now.
It's looking kind of pretty for a couple of days, and after this, we're going to talk about a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Looking nice out offshore for a couple of days at least. Okay, wishing to check offshore fishing, y'all. Go for it. Today, northerly winds 5 to 10 knot, seas 2 to 3 feet every 4 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, northeasterly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Sunday, northeasterly winds kicking up 10 to 15 to 20, gust to 25 in the afternoon. 3 to 5 footers, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers are going to be choppy. Stall. I'll be right back.
Today, sunny with a high near 70. Calm wind becoming 5 to 9 miles per hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 40. Dress warm for the ball game because when that sun goes down and those temperatures stop dropping, it's going to get chilly. Saturday, sunny with a high near 67. And Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 68 degrees.
I thought Rayford was going for the gun to get that's
What gun?
I don't know.
I'm going for that bat over there against the wall.
The bat. You're going to use a bat on a bat.
Protection.
Guns. Scott, I don't have a gun.
It just,
Okay.
you know,
Beautiful Tea
I
Justice bat.
have big hair. Well, it's kind of flat today, but bats, he gets in my hair. There's going to be a new wall. We're going to have a renovation in the studio.
It's historical. You can't do that. Do you think that this bat will lay eggs? Do they lay eggs?
Stop.
Mhm.
It's already
Really?
freaking.
Well, I mean,
That's a rodent.
It's what?
It's a rodent.
Look,
like a rat.
when I came in this morning, the lights were off. I just kind of shoved the door open and crawled in on my knees because there was stuff flying
Looking
everywhere.
around our region here in Onslow County and a little bit beyond over in Carteret County, our ham radio pals, friends of ours, Randy up there in southwest area, setting high atop his golf cart this morning, was 44 degrees, 78% humidity, no wind, and no rain overnight. We haven't had rain for a couple of days, even though we had a lake in the front yard and on the street yesterday. Don't know whether it's still there. Is it still there?
Yes, and the water department was out here yesterday morning
Yes,
down
I know.
there.
They looked at it, and it was water.
But where's it coming from?
The ground.
It's coming up out of the ground?
Well, from something they've got down below the ground. Yes, it's not ours. Not my fault this time. Joe over there in the Swansboro, in the borough this morning was 49. No rain. And he also was over at Emerald Isle when he called in. Had a light breeze over there. No rain. 53 degrees on the beach on the Strand where he was out there walking. Man, that boy loves to walk in the early mornings. Lee, not you, the other one. He over in the back swamp area, he had 47 degrees, 87% humidity, had a light wind, 4 miles per hour, no rain. Dale, our president of the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, by the way, it meets next Saturday, the 1st, the 1th of November.
Right.
So if you guys, some of you have some interest, some of you are hams, you'd like to come and just have a visit. We'll tell you where to go. It's going to be at the Onslow EOC. So come on by and say hey. And but at the River Bend, Dale reported this morning 46 degrees, 95% humidity, no rain. Kim, Onslow Bay area, that's up here off the Rocky Run Road, 47.7 degrees. He is a really specific guy. 47.7 degrees, 88% humidity, and no rain. You ready for our buddy Walt?
Yes, Walt.
From Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
He wasn't at Cedar Point, but he was. He was on a boat this morning.
Yes, I
He was
heard
on a
him.
boat.
He did good.
Marine Mobile.
Yes.
He called in. He's out there. I thought he might be up in the marsh fishing.
Near Browns.
Somewhere in that.
Yeah.
No, I think he's probably north of there.
Okay.
But it could be. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think he was actually. I know he wasn't fishing because you don't fish with a shotgun. He was looking for birds.
Yes, he said
Ducks.
that.
He's looking for ducks out there. Early
First day of
season ducks.
duck season.
So he's out there
Rabbits.
going to figure out a way. And duck l'orange. Have you ever had duck l'orange? It's got orange stuff flavored and stuff. It is.
Duck is too greasy.
It's not if you go to the right place to cook it. It's good. So anyway, Lee hiding in the woodlands this morning earlier. It was 48 degrees there, 85% humidity, winds light out of the southwest, and no rain here in Country Club at the studio. It was 46 at the time. It's now 43 degrees. It was 93% humidity. It's now 98% humidity. And the winds are calm. We've had winds up on the west-southwest earlier this morning, about 1 to 2 miles an hour, and that was about it. And no rain.
It was interesting temperatures last night. At 11 o'clock, it was 46. Midnight, it went to 47. 1 a.m., it went to 48. Then it dropped again. And I'm trying.
You should have gone to bed earlier. That's what I
I have a question for Brandon, who sent a message. He said it looks like his friends.
Looks like that his
Charlie's
that
back.
looks like my
Charlie
pet bat Charlie.
You really got a pet?
What is it with the gum? Everybody's talking about gum this morning. He said, one lady said, got gum, and another one, and then Brandon said, I wish I had some gum. I'm all out of gum. Did I miss some?
I don't know.
We talk about
I've
gum?
heard-
I said gun.
When we say gun,
Well, I've
no,
heard people talking about.
Pew.
I've heard people talking about gum lately or stuff. I don't know what they were talking about. Maybe I missed something.
Well, gum for moles is supposed to.
Oh, yeah, it's
Sure.
juicy fruit. You have to get the yellow juicy
Oh,
fruit.
so give it to the bats.
Look,
Grab one and give it to it and see what you get.
I have no worries. I told you about my neighbor. It was 4 or 5 years ago. They had bats in her house, and every night around dusk, they would all start coming out, and there was hundreds up there. And I went into my own attic. I mean, I have the mesh fencing up there. I went and added a double layer.
Did anybody lock you in while you were there?
No.
You got to be careful with that.
I put a double layer up there just to make sure that there were no holes or no way for them to find refuge in my attic.
Well, they are great because they eat about 1,000 mosquitoes per night.
But I don't have mosquitoes in my attic.
Well, that's because you had bats up there. All right, tonight, D.H.
know.
Connolly from Greenville is going to try to make his way down here, the high school team, football team. And they're going to sit over there and they're going to say, Cardinals, wow, you got a perfect record. We're going to steal that thunder from you tonight.
Scared.
Not if the boys were, if they played like they practiced yesterday afternoon.
Oh, you were watching?
I was watching just as I was riding by. And the Cardinals are tough. They're out there with no shorts on.
Wait, what time was this?
All right, they're not going to be there today doing that.
Yeah.
She's been out there in the past with binoculars, and
She was she was
looking for
at
the
tight
ends.
ends,
Yes.
to see
The
how.
running backs.
Okay.
Whatever.
Anyway, they look good practicing yesterday.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I hope they didn't have any spies from the other team there yesterday.
No, I was just doing 45.
Not you.
Do you have all this ready?
Yeah. Okay. Here's what's shaking, y'all. Tonight we've had an issue, and the groups handle that make arrangements for our entertainment, for knowledge, so that we know what's going on, to control the PA system. There have been a lot of people filling in because the guy that has done it for a long
years.
time has moved on.
Right.
And it's been a challenge. And they've done kudos to everybody who's filled in.
Right.
Let's just put it that way. And yes, it is not an easy job, as all of y'all have found out. Get up there. First of all, you got to know football.
Yes.
You got to be able to recognize when those refs come off and they throw that piece of yellow stuff on the ground. And then they're going to come over and then they're going to give a sign. It's like sign language, okay? They're going to give you a sign as to why they did what they did. All right? Because we don't know. We, the dumb among the fans, we don't know. I know when they say illegal procedure and then they march off 5 yards, I can tell you we were offsides again. The Cardinals. That's I know how that works because I've seen them do it too many times. And then when they do something that gives me 15 yards, there are a bunch of things you can do that's wrong to get you 15 yards. Slapping a ref in the face will do it.
Jaw jacking will get it.
And jaw jacking trash talking is one thing.
Yeah, we've seen that happen.
Over celebrating and a touchdown will get you a penalty.
Yeah, I learned that.
Yeah, you can't get up there and cut the fool.
Well, you can't get up there and to the other team
No.
No, just accept that you're 6 points and move on. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, it's going to cost you some yardage, if not the touchdown. Depends upon when it was done. But we now have a man that tonight will be doing all of this stuff, and he will be telling us everything we need to know about what's happening.
Be working the crowd.
He's had experience doing this for quite some time, and he's a veteran. He survived Jacksonville High School.
We all did.
We all did. We all are graduates of Jacksonville High. And
I know.
I'm not sure he's going to hang around here. Okay, we'll get to that. But anyway, our very own Chris Marks has been tapped. He's going to be doing the play-by-play stuff on tonight at Jacksonville. It's worth the price of admission just to go listen.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So anyway, that's good. Congratulations. I'm glad they're. Well, we actually volunteered.
Yes,
you know that.
Yes,
we offered you.
We worked hard on this.
They were looking for a sacrificial lamb, and we said, "Hey, Chris."
And I believe you must have gotten Chris involved. The other Chris.
Yes, we did.
Because he talked to me yesterday after the show.
We got a herd involved.
Yes, we did. We went through the athletic director for the county. It's Charlie. We went through the sports editor of the Daily News, and then we got a hold of the coach's wife.
Oh, yeah. She contacted us and had conversations with the coach's wife. We'll call her Coach Annie. What do you think? All right. Okay, guys. First of all, we're going to go to, we have a special guest coming in here after I disable some of the flying monsters. But we first of all, we got Charlie. Hey, Charlie, what's up?
Hey, very quickly, I'll call back later, but can I be honest with you? Is the bat, is it AI or is it actually in the studio flying around on the screen?
Oh, it's in here.
They're real.
It's in here.
It's real.
It's kind of, okay. It's very distracting, and maybe like every minute if it would fly through you guys, and just got to go constantly. And so,
Charlie, I'm glad we upset you. Have a good day.
Okay.
Welcome to the Bat Cave.
Did you ride in on your Batmobile this morning?
Yeah,
Good. All right. How was the ride?
had a good little trip.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've got a special gentleman in here. I've known him for a long, long time. What's your name again? Jack Bright is just kidding. Jack Bright, retired police officer for Jacksonville, and how I knew him first. And then, of course, you guys probably know him very well, unless you were bad people back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Then you got to know him as police officer, Jack Bright. But you also have known him as Onslow County Board of Commissioners chairman for quite a while. Uh-oh, things are falling apart on him.
And he will he take phone calls?
Yeah, he'll take some phone calls this morning, but we got him in here not to talk about county commissioners. We got him in here to talk about not a whole lot of things political. He wants to come in, and I've been wanting him to come in because he has history. He retired as 30 years, was it? 30 years with the Jacksonville PD, and he was deputy chief when he retired. So, I mean, he started out, he was actually a reserve police officer when he started out.
1968.
See, I remember a whole lot of things. I was there the evening you were sworn in full time. You didn't know that, did you?
No.
I was standing right there watching you get sworn in. I didn't. I think you probably got sworn out a few times too.
Oh, yeah, sworn out.
All right, now we're gonna while we get him situated, and you guys can hang in there. I'm going to disable our friends, and the reason we did this is just to have some fun this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't really discussed anything. Yeah, his batteries are wearing out.
Oh, okay. I just thought he got tired of going around in a circle.
No, he looks like he's taking aim.
He's aiming at Lee. He's coming around to Lee in just a second. He's going to open fire. So we'll see. Okay, so you guys, you can talk to Jack just a second because Jack's got some things we're going to be discussing and some memories we're going to be discussing.
The bag is what
I've tried to forget everything.
Not the bag that has belts on it, but the bag that has some interesting, looks like interesting items in it. That I'm sure has a lot of history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you actually, obviously, have saw a lot of changes. Now, yeah, some of those pictures.
Scrapbook.
The one that's most notable in my scrapbook is the one where Marcus Schrader was actually robbing the bank.
Oh, yeah.
The bank cameras took his picture.
Guess who printed it?
Oh.
Wow.
And that's him with the ski mask on and
Guess who printed that photograph?
sitting in his shadow right behind him is the lady, not the guy, but the lady, which is my sister-in-law, Karen Selesky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was she's been at the bank for
30
around 40 some years now.
Yeah.
That was Schrader's second bank robbery.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think Cheryl Potter Boyd was his person that he took hostage.
Yes.
And robbed the bank. And this picture here, or one like it, was posted around several places, and it was put up on the bulletin board. And the corpsman that was worked at the MP station next door, which we called 4400 because that was their number, 346 4400. He came over one day shortly
He came
after.
up the Saturday afterwards.
And
We spent, Max Milner and I spent the evening Friday
I
night.
knew
We had
Max.
the film flown back here. The FBI processed the film, 35 millimeter, 100-foot roll. We spent the night going through that entire frame by frame and looking for photographs, looking for images. And that was one of the images. And why was that image important? Do you remember?
well, the doc, what we call the doc.
Yep.
He came over
And he told you why. it was
he looked
important.
at the picture and he was always over there.
Yep.
Because when they were slack or didn't have anything to do, he came over to the police department and reminisced with the guys and talked about old times and stuff. But he looked at long story short, he looked at the photograph. And he said, "I know that guy." He said, "That's Marcus Schrader. He's a corpsman at
Just
the
like
bank."
that.
I mean,
Wow.
and that's how the investigation started to focusing on him, and the rest is history. They went down to his house.
Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Had it staked out, and they followed his van and caught his van coming back across the bridge there from Emerald Isle, but he wasn't in it. It was his stepdaughter, 15 years old, illegally driving said van.
Name was Debbie Brown.
Debbie Brown is right.
And she had a baby
By him
by him.
in prison.
It was her stepdaughter. And I think maybe she's not around here, but she's still alive. And of course, I know the
She was
child.
here a few years ago
Child probably was, but
because she got arrested.
anyway,
Drugs.
that's sort of sums up the Marcus Rader thing, and there was a long history with that. And of course, he got the death penalty, but that was commuted, and then he finally died not too long
About
ago.
2007 or 8, something like that.
In
And I didn't do it.
in prison.
I know
I know that the father of the girl that he killed last, which was Gerald Potter,
Mm-hmm.
and Jerry Potter, his son, is still alive now.
Jerry, I worked with for a
But
while.
Gerald, he was so distraught about that, and he said that if that guy ever got out, that he would bring justice to his daughter. Now you can take that for whatever.
We know.
Yeah.
Some of us had suggested that they release him and post the time that they were going to release him.
Absolutely.
It'd have been a short release.
Yeah, just I
here.
don't know when they're going to release him and what gate they're going to let him out of.
Here's I have a photograph here of the Daily News. I think
Oh my!
took that picture, but the Volkswagen dealership, Cars Incorporated, gave us they donated this Volkswagen. They donated a Bug to start with,
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
Beetle,
Look how young you were.
and I was a lieutenant then and in charge of the selective enforcement program.
You probably didn't weigh
That
100
was-
pounds in this picture.
Was that prior to Junior Freeman? Maybe?
Yeah, that was that was Junior.
Junior.
Well, that was Junior Freeman's. Eventually, his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Junior married the owner of, I can't remember his name, but Junior
I'll give it
married.
to you in just a second. They live right here.
Yeah, but anyway, Junior married his daughter and actually took over the dealership after his father-in-law retired.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Volkswagen Beetle that we had painted it blue and white like the cars, and Chief Halbert wanted me to go out and use that Beetle to run radar with. So
Wow.
I set up radar, and
Anybody you get with that thing had to be embarrassed. Right?
I would stop people, and they'd say, "You better be kidding! you gotta be kidding!"
One of our partners in crime, his name was Buchanan,
Yeah, Paul. Yeah,
drug guy. We used it.
yeah, absolutely.
I was with him on numerous occasions
A
when we were.
Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah, I could hardly get my legs in the whole thing.
You know, if people could look at this up close, it looks like Jack's looking at it going, "You're kidding."
Now, here, and Rayford, if I know you remember this,
I
but
forget everything.
this is the Pine Lodge that was down by the USO,
Oh yeah. Oh God.
and one of these young ladies, I think she's one of the blondes that's on the front row, is Matt Raymond's wife,
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Ann Raymond, and I think her dad was Bruce Downing
Yeah.
of Sanders Ford,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Remember Bruce Downing?
Yeah.
but anyway, that's the Pine Lodge, and something that's not that.
Where
not-
was that at?
It was down by the U.S. front by the
Forgot
dock.
about Pine Lodge. That was a great place.
I wasn't born when this was taken. That's right, but
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, friends, but
I'll let you know when you hold.
we're talking, what,
1956?
69 years ago?
Yeah.
Look at all these little girls in their pretty
44,
dresses.
69, yeah. 69 years ago.
This is a Daily News article about me, and I don't know if y'all remember Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
He was
Everybody
he was
remembers
captain
that.
in the Marine Corps, and then when he retired, he was the comptroller for all the payroll for Camp Lejeune. But he's also was Jacksonville Police Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how the officer friendly program started in the schools. And this article that brings that out.
I remember that.
And this other picture here is going to bring back some old memories. There's two people on this that I worked with when I started. One of them is Clyde Cook,
Wow.
and the other one is Jim Hassel. Jim Hassel is here,
Kind of a grumpy guy, both of
and
the
this
time.
is Clyde Cook in the middle. He was just
Assertive.
took over as chief.
I remember him.
And as you see, there's a lady in the middle. Her name was Mary West. And Mary was, she was the lady that was given parking tickets downtown.
That was before my time.
And oh yeah, this is before my time. When I started though, Chief Cook and Jim Hassel were still on board.
Yeah.
And I stayed there till both of them retired.
Well, when I left, they were both there.
This is a 1954 photograph.
Good God.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, Mary West later on, as she got older, worked at the Bull Arena.
No, that was another.
That was
Oh, yeah.
another Mary West.
That was
Yeah, I
another
knew
Mary
that
West.
Mary West.
Okay, yeah.
That
I
Mary
apologize.
West. That Mary West. I hired her. She lived over on Barnes Street. I hired her as a school crossing guard for Barnes Street
Okay.
school crossing. Now this Mary West just recently died a couple years ago.
Oh.
She was 99 years old.
Wow.
She left the police department and went to work with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. She was with the FBI.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
She's quite an attractive lady. And as you can see, she was, I didn't actually know her, but I knew her
Wow.
and knew where she was.
Uh-huh.
But she lived in Carteret County, over that away when she passed on. I have a lot more departmental photographs.
Mhm.
I've got one where we were all setting out. I weren't there, but
Wow.
Troy Shiver, Gene Jarman, Jim Hassel,
all those.
Clyde Cook. You knew the times because everybody in that photograph, they were all sitting down and some was standing behind, but all of them had on white socks.
Now, this was when, I'm trying to remember, and I'm probably wrong, but when the police department and the back entrance was right next to Infinite Park Church.
That's correct.
I thought so.
Well, before that,
I remember.
my first trip to
Right.
the Jacksonville Police Department was with my dad. It was on Old Bridge Street. It was about half the size of this studio. And they had, what is that?
I don't know. It sounds like it's coming from over your way.
It had a cell. I think it had a one-person cell in it, holding cell. And I had to go with him because one of his employees had gotten a little bit under the weather, and they had to go get him out. So I went down with him one day, and it was pouring rain. And that was where the old police station was before the new city hall, which included the police department and fire department, was built.
Yeah, that building is still, part of that building is still there on Cheney Avenue.
That's Cheney Avenue. I couldn't remember the name of the
They
street.
turned that building, the city actually owned it, and they turned it over to,
Is it United
The-
Way? Or,
no, the Boys and Girls Club, I
Yes,
think, have
okay.
it now.
Wow.
Right.
It's still got the bars on the
Mhm.
top floor,
Oh, okay.
still there. Now, I mentioned Mary West and her,
That was her stick, marking stick. Oh my God!
This is the
marker.
original
Chalk marker.
I had to put some paint on it because it got so rusty, but
Uh-huh.
this had yellow chalk here and
Big
it was
yellow chalk.
fastened. And have you ever seen the Andy Griffin show where
Yeah.
Barney had
Barney had
the
Taken away from
motorcycle
them? Yeah.
and he was marking tires? Well, this is when I started, like everybody else, we started walking the beat.
Boomtown and downtown.
And Boomtown and New River. Boomtown and New River, and then we had the downtown walking beat, but it was all walking beat, midnight shift. Then you graduated and went to day shift, but then you got this.
Yeah,
This was your
a step up.
this was your stick that you marked the tires with. You'd start on one end of your route.
Did you
And-
ever catch anybody scraping that yellow?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was an automatic ticket.
Oh yeah. They'd scrape them off, or they'd get out and they'd move the car down about 2 spaces.
Uh-huh.
But that didn't count if it was within the same block.
That's right.
It still was a violation.
And the ticket was $1.
Yeah, we had so much, so
More
many
people griped about
They
a $1 ticket than they did
They
about being arrested.
They complain more about that than they did a DWI or a speeding ticket. Really. But anyway, this is the original, and this was put in place probably around 1958.
Wow.
And when we
Yeah,
quit,
and you stole it.
and when we quit, when I
That's what
retired,
happened to Barney.
when I retired, they weren't using this anymore, and they were getting ready to throw it out. And I said, "Well, I'll just hang on. I'll just hang on to that."
That's
Good for you.
history.
Man.
That is
Let me ask
history.
this piece of history to this. What was the time limit? How long could they park there?
2 hours.
2 hours.
But we would time it. It would probably be 2.5, 3 hours before we could get back around
Well,
because
because you had to make the whole run.
the first round you just marked the tires. The second round you went back and you were marking the tires again. But if you found a couple, 2 or 3, 4 violations, you had to take time to write out the little parking ticket with an envelope.
Darn.
Put the little envelope on the windshield. Of course,
Then turn in the stub so they could be matched up when he got back down.
Of course, we had a lot of those people just tore it up or just drove off with it, and never paid the ticket. I don't know that maybe Ralph Strother started going through them, and then he would send out letters to them saying, you got to come in and pay your $1 parking ticket. But that's all it was. $1.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to come to the window on a special on pay weekends. The Marines would get one, and other people would get a ticket. They come to the window all hours of the day and night at the police department, and that poor radio operator, because they didn't have 911. That poor radio operator, telephone answerer, window answerer, he had to do it all.
Well,
Poor guy.
this is the first hickory nightstick that was issued to me, and this is not actually mine. This is my father-in-law's. He was a military policeman, but this is the first one that was issued. And sometimes we had some that was a little bit longer than this. That was a riot baton.
Right.
But this has survived the history of time, and I think it's probably hickory. I don't know,
Likely.
but it is hard as a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on, we went to the fiberglass ones, the black fiberglass ones.
Yes.
There's one right over there
Yeah.
behind the
Mm-hmm.
pickaxe handle.
Yeah, and then we finally did away with them. But when I first started, and you know as well as I do, in 1968, the only thing that was given us was a pants and a shirt. We had to furnish our belt.
Yep.
We had to furnish our
Okay.
shoes. We had to furnish our socks. We had to furnish our gun.
If you didn't want to take a chance with a surplus civil defense, either a Colt Police Positive 38 Special or a Smith & Wesson Model 10, these are, again, surplus guns that the civil defense gave the police department.
Yeah, they had a little hook on the bottom on the butt where
Yep.
you could hook a
Lanyard.
safety strap with.
Did you have to supply your winter blue jacket?
No, they
Coats, they came.
they were
Peacoats.
they were made out of wool, and they weighed about 20 pounds.
When they got wet, they weighed how much?
Oh, we had double.
Yeah.
And then we walked down. That was the only protective clothing other than a raincoat.
Mhm.
I remember one night I was walking in the Boomtown area, and it was pouring down rain, and our job was to check all the doors, make sure the business owner locked the door. If we found one open, we'd call the station, go to the post phone, call the station, say, get a hold of so-and-so, come down and unlock it. But it was pouring down rain, and it was about 3:00 in the morning. Excuse me. And Clyde Cook pulled up in his car
Oh,
and
probably coming in from fishing.
no, he was driving around with the patrol car.
Oh, well.
And he told me, he said, get in. I got in and rode around a little bit, and he said, you notice it's pouring down rain? I said, yeah. He said, what are you doing out in the rain? I said, Chief, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm checking these doors. He said, I don't know if I need anybody. Ain't got sense enough to get out of the rain.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Now, that sounds like it too.
And he had this big chuckle and big laugh, and then he took me over and dropped me off in New River, and I finished my patrol over there. But the guns that we had, the Smith & Wesson guns that we had, this is my gun that I carried from time it was issued until the automatics come out,
Beautiful.
semi-automatics.
You had a pearl handle one. Really?
This is the original grips
Right.
Yeah.
for it.
Wow.
Smith & Wesson. And that's the gun I carried for many, many years.
Beautiful.
And when they,
Beautiful.
and when we got the 4580, that's a model 64. I think I told you a model
Yeah.
14.
That's
That's a
a
model 64.
64 is
57.
a stainless steel version of the Model 10.
Right.
Right. Now the first one they issued,
So they got a bull barrel on it too.
my first one that they issued like that was the same gun, but it was blue.
Oh, yes.
And we had so much problem with corrosion and rust, and the city decided to, get us the stainless steel ones. Now my wife, when she went to do her concealed carry,
She carried this.
she carried that, and
Wow.
they looked at that and they said, "What in the world are you doing with that?" And she said, "Who told them who it was?" And she was able to qualify with that.
Why would you not be able to?
Man, but the thing about those guns, they call them wheel guns now, it's
Yeah.
a revolver, but you don't have to worry about it hanging up.
You get a
don't-
bad bullet in it,
Right.
you just pull the trigger again. It
There's
goes to the
not a
next
lot
one.
of
Yeah.
recoil from those. I have the Model 67, and that's what I qualified. When I brought that out, they were like all standing back. They're like, whoa.
You're
Beautiful
taking
gun.
good care of it.
Beautiful gun.
Yeah, that's that gun. Your life depended on it.
Yeah.
So you had to make sure it was clean. You had to make sure it was taken
These,
care of.
these are Smith grips.
Yeah.
You bought those special.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's and the reason I did that is because I could see it if I was in a dark area and at home and getting ready to get my gun, I could see the gun better in the holster with the antler grips. So
Beautiful.
and then the heavy.
Number 001. You're that old?
Might have been, but that's and then the bullets. They had you could buy your own bullets, but the only bullets that the city had
Reloads.
was reloads. And let me tell you that story. We had
That was a Gordon Bradley thing.
Sam Hudson was reloading all
He
the
did it too.
Yeah, I remember he did it.
Sam was reloading all the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And Ernie's still around. Ernie will tell you the same thing. Ernie Lynch.
Yep.
He was the Veterans Administration. Whenever somebody abandoned a veteran's home that was veteran financed with the VA,
All right.
they posted on the door, this house belongs to the VA, no trespassing. But we had a list of all of those, and they still do it now, I think.
Yeah.
But we had a list of all the vacant homes that had been abandoned by the veterans. And Ernie Lynch was one night, had the list on his beat, and he was checking them, had his pistol and reloads. And when he went in one of those houses, we had the key. He went in one of those houses, and about the time he opened the door, a cat run right between his legs, and he fired that gun.
Missed the cat because the bullet didn't go off.
No, the bullet fell out at the end of the barrel on the
They
floor.
forgot to put the powder in.
And he went to the station and he told the chief, he said, "Look, we got to do away with these reloads." He said, "That almost cost me my life." He said, "If I'd have had to use it," he said, "I'd been in trouble."
No, whoever you shot, when they watched the bullet fall out of the end of the barrel, would have laughed so
So-
hard you could have arrested them.
So we went, at that point, the city started buying and furnishing all of the ammunition for the officers.
Well, when I see him at our next Crime Stalker
Oh,
meeting,
wow.
can I mention this to
Yes,
him?
absolutely. You may as well, because everybody else knows it.
And I know, I didn't think I had mine anyway, but
Ooh, I remember those.
this is my,
Convoy.
Convoy.
I remember that.
and you could tell
That's
it's
mine.
not
You
been
stole that
used.
from me.
No.
You can tell it's not been used. But I carried this, but I never had to use it.
You
I
didn't?
really never had to use it.
I used mine twice. Once on a guy's ankle.
I was cleaning. I was helping my brother. I had a business cleaning offices downtown, and an attorney gave me one like this brown. but his obviously had been used some because
They get worn out.
yeah, I remember this. I still have mine. It's brown.
The other thing they're great for, in addition to anti-personnel, well, right here is the easiest thing because they go to your knees. Don't hit them in the head; you can kill them.
Pecans.
Potentially. But if you hit him there and you hit him hard enough, you're going to buckle his knees.
Well, a lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of times when that was used, it broke the collarbone.
Uh-huh.
Of course, if your collarbone broke, you disabled. I mean,
Yep.
you can't use that arm.
Yep.
But I never had to use it. I mean,
You didn't knock on doors with this?
no.
What was Bellevue at the time when Jerry decided he'd like to raid out there because it was in the extraterritorial jurisdiction? Those are steel doors out there, and when you hit a steel door with this thing, it reverberates throughout the entire area.
We had some really dumb people that worked at our office at one time. We had one person that had a flat tire, and back then we had the bumper jacks, to fit in the bumper,
Yep.
and you had the little thing that had a hole that you put the tire tool in and jack it up. Well, they decided that they were going to use that they couldn't find the tire tool, so they used their gun.
You did that?
I didn't do
No,
it.
he said they had some dumb people.
I was afraid he was going to fess up to something.
Oh no! If I did, I wouldn't be telling about
Did
it.
they unload it first?
No, they bent the barrel on the gun, and of course you could shoot around corners then. But and then we had another guy that had a flat tire, and he got the bumper jack out. Instead of putting it on the bumper, he hooked it in the fender well of the car, and of course he jacked it up, and of course the fender well just buckled out. It wouldn't.
Ever talk about balloons again?
Was this a blonde?
I'm not going to say.
Was it a female?
Well, the one with the bumper jack that did the fender was a guy.
Uh-huh.
The one with the gun was a female.
Oh, my.
But
Oh, my.
but I want
She heard that. She had her headphones on.
I want to tell you about Sally Dooley. You remember a lady by the name of Sally Dooley that was
I knew some Dooleys.
I don't know if that was her real name or the name she went by, but she lived in Pecan Trailer Park
Pecan.
there by Imogene
I
Matthias.
Yeah.
know where it is.
Right off of New Bridge
And-
Street.
Had a triple murder there one night.
She was she was lady of the evening.
Uh-huh.
I mean, more or less.
That's not who I knew then. I did know it's some Dooleys, but it wasn't her.
Glad you clarified that.
But anyway, we had a call from one of the Marines that was walking street. He got on the payphone and he called the station and said, "Look, there's a lady out here soliciting for prostitution." And so we sent the car over there, and sure enough, she was walking down New Bridge Street with no top on.
Oh my
I
God.
remember that one. That was soliciting, all right.
Oh yeah.
So
Advertising. I'm sorry, advertising.
So she said, "I'm not soliciting, and y'all better not charge me." So I believe it was Jerry Reed. I'm not sure. I think
Oh gosh.
Oh, God.
I think he arrested her and charged her, and we used a guy that called in as a witness to the case. Well, when it went to court, Judge,
I bet you I know the judge, but go ahead.
it was Judge Boney,
Oh, Judge.
Harvey Boney. He wore
His hat.
cocked to the side
Always.
all the time. But anyway, when it went to court and she got up and testified, she said, "Your Honor, I weren't doing nothing but calling my dog."
Oh my.
He said, "What do you mean? How were you calling your dog?" She said, "Well, my dog was named Tiz, and I was calling down the street saying, 'Here, Tiz, here, Tiz.'"
Here it is.
I hadn't heard that story, but that's
Oh my God.
not guilty by reason of stupidity, but go ahead.
Well, he gave her a $10 fine and put her on, gave her probation. But anyway, he knew what was going on.
Oh, he did. Judge Boney.
Wow.
I saw him over at Liberty Commons about 10 years ago or so.
Now, we had funny stories about Joe Bracking.
I remember Joe Brady.
Joe Bracking, we called him Tiny.
Yeah.
That was his nickname.
He was
but,
huge.
Because you didn't want to call him what he was.
He weighed about 600 pounds,
Mhm.
maybe that, maybe a little less.
Couldn't get a driver's license because he couldn't fit behind the wheel.
Well, he never had a driver's license. He got out of the Marine Corps. He started on JPD in 1956, and Clyde Cook hired him because at that time, the town was pretty much segregated by the railroad tracks, below the tracks and then above the tracks. And he was the first African-American that the police department hired, to my knowledge. We had Levi Simmons later on, and then we had another guy,
Rodney Simmons, I think his cousin.
it was Levi Simmons and Raymond
Raymond Simmons.
Raymond Simmons. Raymond's still around. Levi passed away a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Joe was so big, he loved to eat. He just loved to eat. And I know that Robert Melville had a hot dog stand down by the theater on Court Street, between Court Street and New Bridge Street. And when the officers came by, he always invited officers in because he wanted them around because fights and everything and disorderly conduct. But he loved having officers around, so he would offer the officers a drink and a hot dog. So anyway, that went on for several years. And then one day I was working the desk, and Robert Melville, he called and he said, "Jackie," he said, "I got a problem." I said, "What is it, Robert?" He said, "I'm going to have to cut off that free hot dog stuff." I said, what seems to be the problem? He said, "Joe, Tiny come down here and he eat 29 hot dogs."
There goes that part.
He said, "I just can't afford to feed feed that many." He said, a couple of that, but he said, I'm doing away with the program. So anyway, one Christmas, we decided to get Joe a new Garrison built because the one he had got kind of worn and ragged and stretched out, and the leather was cracked and all that. So we ordered him a new gun belt.
Full size.
72 inches.
Ooh.
It was a whole cow.
That's most of my height.
Well, that's 6 foot.
Yeah.
6 foot. And but anyway, that's
Who was the poor soul that was assigned the duty to measure him?
well. I think he went down to Julius Sigerman,
Oh, did he?
and
Himself?
I think Julius Sigerman knew what his waist size was because that's where we got our uniforms from.
Wow.
But I know Joe, like I said, he loved to eat. So Dwayne Goodman, he was a police officer that got out of the service, and he got on the police department, and he married, I forget who his father-in-law was, but he married a girl that her dad was a preacher. And anyway, they were getting ready to have a baby. So Dunkin' Donut used to call us all the time and say, "Come by here and pick up 20 dozen donuts and take them to the station, share them with the fire department." So Dwayne went by and got a box dozen donuts, hot donuts in a donut box. And he went to the station. Joe was working the desk, similar to something what we got here. And the old radio.
I know very well, yeah.
The radio console, and the radio was always warm on top because of the tubes and everything in it.
Yep.
So Dwayne, he didn't have the donuts in the box. He went and got another donut box, and he killed a red oak snake over there at one of the calls that had got in the ladies' pool, wading pool on William Street. So he put that snake in the donut box and put tape on it.
What?
And he took it to the station, and he told Joe, he said, "My wife is pregnant. She has a craving for donuts." He said, "Put these donuts up there on the radio.
Keep them warm.
Keep them warm." He said, "Please watch them for me and don't let nobody mess with them.
That was the dirtiest trick.
Wow.
So,
I didn't ever hear about this one because I was gone by this time. I'm
so
sure.
we went out, the back parking lot where enter the Prague Catholic Church. There's a parking area, and then there's windows all around that you can look into the station.
I know some of those kids over there in that Catholic church got wormy in me one night.
Well, it was dark, and we were outside looking in the window, and we seen Joe. He would take his finger and he flick that tape.
Yeah.
And then he put it down, and then he would take that. He'd answer a few more calls, and he would flick that tape. And finally, the tape come undone, and it was higher than what you could actually look in. And he reached in that box and got a hold of that dead snake, and he tore the wheels off of that seat he was in, and he chased Dwayne Goodman all the way down to Kerr Street.
Now, let me tell you something. Joe may have weighed a half a ton.
He could run.
But don't get in his way because he will pick them up and put them out. He'll outrun you. And when he gets there, there's no stopping him either. This is a brick wall.
But anyway, and then I had to make a few notes on some things that might be
highlights.
Could you
might be
imagine
interesting
that man
to
chasing you?
But we had the police department and the fire department were together, and at night we get all our buildings checked, and we'd be in between rounds, and we'd always find something to do, pull some prank or do something on some officer. So the fire department was right next door, and actually a one door, and you could leave the police department and go into the fire department. So one of these firemen, I forgot what his name was, he went out to Cars Incorporated and he bought a brand new Volkswagen Beetle. And
Wasn't that heavy, was it?
Well, that's another story there. I won't tell you about that one. But anyway, he come back and he said, this car's supposed to be getting 20 miles to the gallon. He said, can you believe that? And we said, yeah. Well, the firemen, they stayed all night. They slept 24. They were on 24 on, 24 off. Anyway, I think they still do that, but I don't. Anyway, we decided to go, gas wasn't but maybe 30 cents a gallon then. So we went and got a 5-gallon can of gas. And when he went to bed, we opened the hood. You opened the hood on the front
where the motor was.
and that's where the motor was
where
on
the gas
back.
tank was.
So you opened the hood and you
That was the trunk.
we kept filling the car up with gas. And he come in, he said, I tell you what, he said, I weren't supposed to be getting but 20, 22 miles a gallon. He said, I'm getting 115 miles to the gallon.
Oh my gosh.
And he called the Volkswagen place and they said, well, that can't be right. It's only supposed to get this amount. He said, I'm telling you. He said, I check it. He says 120 some miles to the gallon. And he said, I can't even never see the needle move. And anyway, long story short, we started taking the gas out. And then he went out to the Volkswagen dealership and he told him, he said, y'all got to fix my car. He said, I'm getting 120 miles to the gallon. He said, I ain't getting but 20 miles to the gallon now. He said,
Wasn't he a fireman?
he was a fireman.
Didn't he know where he was located? Right beside a bunch of crazy people?
He didn't think we would pull nothing like that.
Oh my gosh.
I was involved in it. Troy Shiver was involved in it. There was maybe, I don't know if Art Turner was involved in it, but anyway, that was sort of the laugh of the day.
Yeah.
But what a prank! Now about the other thing about it, we had some Marines that had gotten a big fight down on Court Street there by Birdland, and they went and jumped in a Volkswagen Beetle, and Ed Brown was walking the beat. Ed told them to stop. They didn't stop. Ed got a hold of the back of the car,
Picked it up.
and it's rear-wheel drive. He picked up the car, the motor, and the occupants and stood there and held it until somebody else came in.
I would have gotten out of the car and surrendered.
I just thrown myself down on the pavement. Oh my gosh.
Ed used to run from Hall's Run on foot to the police station. to come to work. And he would, when he got off, he would run back the hall, run to his house. He was very, very physically,
so many stories about Ed Brown.
very
And
Wow.
physically fit.
I'm kind of privileged to have witnessed a few of them, but
Mhm.
glad I didn't witness all of them.
He was fun. He would come out to some of the golf tournaments the Boys and Girls Club had.
Mhm.
He was not a golfer, but
Only thing he hit were people.
Look at there. Look at there.
Oh, Kojak light this blue.
It's still functional. It works, 12
Wow.
volt.
Can I use it for a while?
And it was in my car. And then when we went to the grill lights and the strobe lights, they were going to throw it out. So
No.
I said, let me hold on to that. And I actually had one of the first radars that we had bought, Decatur radar,
Mhm.
but it was obsolete, got off the approved list. And I actually gave that to Ralph Strother to put in the museum in Raleigh.
That is so. Oh.
But it's got a magnet on it,
Yeah.
and it spins around, and it's really, really bright.
Uh-huh.
If you had a 12-volt battery, you could see. And it was well kept. I looked after it.
this would look good on the Crime Stopper vehicle. We only have red. We have the.
I have an
front
amber one just like that
Yeah.
from years and years ago, magnetic mount that I
Oh,
used
cool.
at the post office. So,
He's
wow.
going to try. He's going to try and get it going.
Oh, Lord have
It
mercy.
works if you've got a 12-volt battery.
Plug
But
it into that bat. Wow. Yeah. That was when y'all drove like the sedans.
Yeah, I had an unmarked Ford Crown Victoria.
The Crown
And,
Vics.
At that time, the strobe lights hadn't come out, but
Right.
they come out later, and they've done away with all the dash lights like that. And they were not good because the dash lights would slide off if you got no speed and get tangled up around the steering and all that.
Yeah, that would be bad. So you went from actually being a patrolman and then you went to detective?
No, I went from patrol officer. I made sergeant in the patrol division, and then after that, I made lieutenant and got the Governor's Highway Safety Program grant.
Wow.
And that was the DWI task force that we had. And then from there, I made captain of the patrol division, and I left the patrol division and went to the patrol division. And then soon after that, took the test and was promoted to commander. And then I went from commander to deputy chief. But that's all a
right.
real long process of evaluations. And I know that Chief Halbert said, if you want to get promoted around here, he said, you're going to have to get your degree.
Right.
So that didn't force me, but it prompted me to go to college.
When you first started, though, you didn't have a degree.
No,
It was just you came in off the street and learned as you went.
yeah, exactly. It was all hands on.
Right.
No formal training. Now I was one of the first one in Alton Peel, and
We got it going.
me and Alton Peel and Dwayne Goodman, we were the first officers that went to a formal basic law enforcement training.
Really? And how many hours was it back then?
I think it was like 30 days. I don't remember how.
Now it's 8.
It's
longer than that, I think.
Oh
now.
man, it's 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we didn't go here. I had to drive to Wilmington every day to go to school,
Wow.
and it was at the Wilmington Police Department or the Wilmington Police Academy was where I went to my basic law enforcement training. There was a few other ones that went there after that, but then they started having the school here at Coastal Carolina, and they had another school at James Brunt Community College.
They still have that one. I know. It was interesting. Donnie Worrell. I said, "What do you mean you're going to class at James Brunt?" He he's retired and he's working just part time now at the sheriff's department, but he had to go because he transfers prisoners. I shouldn't call them prisoners from mental facilities, and then bring them back here once they had
what's in Salemburg?
That's where the North Carolina Justice Academy is, for the eastern part of east of 995.
Mhm.
And I actually, when Ralph Strother retired from the police department, he went with the North Carolina Department of Community Colleges. And of course, he hired me and Ernie Lynch to be instructors for the state radar program. Not only were we certified to run the radars, but we were also certified instructors to teach the instructors how to do radar class. But the radar in this state, there's only a certain number of ones that's on the approved list, probably used to be about 20, 25 different units.
Yeah, these do not measure the speed of pine trees that are moving in the wind.
These
There are some.
I know. Yeah,
They got caught at it in
Yeah.
some places.
these measure the speed of vehicles or anything that's metal that's moving to or from
Right.
the vehicle. But we had the school in Salemburg to teach the instructors how to be instructors to teach radar. And you just didn't take you had to get 10, in order to get certified, you had to be able to estimate 10 consecutive vehicles. Their
That was
speed
the hardest
within
school that I've ever been
within
through.
plus or minus 5 miles per hour.
Mhm.
If you miss one, you got one more chance.
Wow.
But
And
you
if
got to
you-
start over.
If you didn't, if you failed a class, if you couldn't pass the road test, you failed a class. And the state exam was given by Ralph, and Ralph only. I was the instructors, and Ralph said, for the instructor certifies the instructors. And they said, well, who certifies the instructors that's doing the instructing?
Me.
And he said, me. And somebody in the class said, who certifies you, Mr. Strother? He said, God.
That would have been him.
Hey, I got to ask this. You know, there are a lot of law enforcement programs on television. One that comes to mind, I used to love, no, seriously, History Blues.
Right.
I love them.
Favorites.
Yeah, History Blues. And I guess the sergeant for that shift, the guy always said, hey, be careful out there. Did you all actually, before your shift started,
Had a squad meeting before every shift, because we had to read. We had a little loose leaf paper that the desk officer kept
Stolen
as calls were coming in. It was called a skinny
It's the skinny sheet. Yep.
pad. We had to go over that skinny pad from the night before, or if we were off a couple of days, we had to go over the skinny pad for ever how many days we were off for that meeting. And we would cover everything, wanted cars, wanted people, off of that skinny pad. Then when we got done, we gave skinny pad back to the dispatcher. Dispatcher started back taking notes and making.
That is the one that the media would also come in and pick up. They had full access in those days, but the media also was smart enough to know when there are certain things you do not put in there. You didn't have to redact crap. You didn't have to black out the name of rape victims. You didn't have to black out the names of juveniles. You didn't have to do any of that.
Mhm.
That wasn't necessary.
Oh, it was pretty much the news. That's where
That's where they got it.
everybody got their news. Now I want to mention this, not because it was me, but because how dangerous it is to go on domestic calls. I one night I had made sergeant, and I was on New Bridge Street, and there used to be a payphone there about where the telephone office was. And I was driving down New Bridge, probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was a African American lady on the payphone. And as I was driving by, she jumped out of the payphone and she started flagging me down. She said, "There's a problem over here in this apartment house. You know where Pete Bailey's office is, and it's 2-story houses that was turned into apartment houses."
Yeah.
So anyway, I think the house may be still there, but anyway, I went in the house and a young girl come out and she said, "This girl's giving me a hard time." She said she's smoking marijuana. About that time, the front door opened. Coming into the apartment, I had a radio in one hand, a flashlight in the other hand, because that's what
All
I didn't have-
alone am I.
I didn't have time to buckle my radio. But anyway, this girl came into the house and she had a white T-shirt on, blue jeans, and was barefooted, and short sleeve shirt. And she come in and she started an argument with the girl that I was talking to. And the next thing I knew, guy up in the balcony upstairs, he saw her and he said, officer, you got blood on your shirt. So I didn't know she had gone in her waistband and pulled out. I got the shirt here.
Holy.
And she stuck me right in the chest.
Oh my gosh.
She
Oh
only,
my God.
she
You
only,
didn't know it?
oh,
yeah,
I didn't know it.
She knew it. You didn't know it.
Yeah. That's how that. Yeah.
She stuck me right through my tie and in my shirt. And I didn't even know I didn't even know I had been, sir. I put the handcuffs on her, but you can see the blood.
Wow.
in there.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where she stuck me
You
through
didn't
the
tap her
tie.
one time?
Well, I couldn't have, but back then there wasn't a law that said assault on a government official. It was just a simple assault with a
I'm talking
A
about
deadly
Bob.
weapon? Assault was a deadly
Wow.
weapon.
Yeah, she was charged with that, and she got 3 years for it. Now you'd probably get a lot more time than that, but
Mhm.
she weren't actually aiming at me. I was trying to split them apart,
Wow.
and she swung the knife and cut the other girl right across the head up here. And when it glanced off of her,
That's 2 counts there.
Damn.
it went. Yeah, she
And
was
it-
charged twice. When she went past the other girl and cut her on above the eyebrow up here, it went right into my chest.
That had to be after 76.
It was some, yes, yeah, oh yeah, because I didn't make sergeant until about 78 or so.
Okay.
Did you have to have stitches?
Oh yeah, I had to go to the emergency room,
Holy.
but I'd already made the arrest, and I turned the arrest over to somebody else because I already put handcuffs on her and gave her to somebody else. And Clarence Sis come in and did the investigation and charged her and all that. Of course, I had just got married and
Cigar.
I come home and
Oh,
I didn't have anything on but my pea coat, that shirt.
Here we go.
Clarence had took that shirt.
That's evidence.
Wow.
So anyway, that's how dangerous going on a domestic call can be. And I didn't bring that in to get accolades for me. I just wanted
Between a
to.
man and his wife, you're going to lose either way, both of them.
People.
Now, Art Turner used that shirt and the knife. I got the knife somewhere at home. It was a Barlow knife,
Mm.
but Art Turner used that in his domestic violence course at the college all the time. He said, "This is what happens to you when you don't
It's a wake-up call.
recognize your surroundings." And that was
Wow.
that was a lesson to me, but it was a lesson to the other people too. And I'm just glad I'm around to talk about
Yes,
it.
sir.
we are too.
Absolutely.
I want to lighten it up just a little bit.
A lot of
I think his name was Frank. I've called him Frank for many, many years. Hargett Street, African-American, always drunk on the railroad tracks.
Frank Carson
That's
always blew his train whistle.
he liked to sound like a siren. He tried to make himself sound like a siren in the back seat, but it was a train whistle he was really trying to do.
But we always said, Frank, we'd pick him up. We'd be on the way taking him home.
Got to
Say,
keep the window down.
Frank, let's hear your train whistle. Let's hear your siren. Key to mic.
Yep,
Everybody that had a radio
they all knew.
said, well, he must have Frank
There
Carson.
you go.
so Frank was the you mentioned Barney Fife, so he was the Otis
Yes, he
of
was-
Jacksonville.
Yep. Yeah, Frank. But anyway, Frank was an icon, and
He was a freaking flyer.
Yeah, we always picked him up. He never caused no trouble. I mean, never resisted or never caused no trouble. He was just there and
He was drunk.
just a happy drunk. And he would blow his siren, blow his train whistle every time we got him, and he was good at it.
But you didn't give him the key to let himself in, right?
Yeah.
No,
Let himself in and out.
we couldn't find it if we did.
I know another morning when I was in charge of the selective enforcement program, traffic program, and radar, we had a young girl. She was married to Air Station Marine, and she worked at Warehouser. And she was coming home from worked the midnight shift at Warehouser up 17 North, and she got there on 17 by the Pig Diner. Well, it's 2 lanes of traffic going southbound lanes, and she was in the lane next to the curb. And this is a point in history where we had the U.S. Supreme Court make a ruling on this case, and I'll tell you, and you won't believe what happened to this. She stopped at the traffic light at the Pig Diner, and she had a Corvette. There was another guy in another car in the left lane, stopped at the traffic light, and this military convoy was coming. Had a 6x.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
He had a 6x truck pulling a trailer with 9 Marines in the back.
On military duty.
On duty. Anyway, he didn't see her stop, but when he did see her stopped, he put on his brakes, but it weren't good enough. He literally ran over top of that Corvette. The wheel of that Corvette went right down the center of her car. It was I thought to say it was a convertible. Yeah, it was a convertible, but she didn't have the top down, but it actually killed her right on the scene there. Her name was DeSmith. I can't remember her first name, but the guy driving the truck was Ernest Cisneros. Anyway, he kept saying, he said, the brakes didn't work. I said, well, I'm going to have to check the brakes. And I said, the only way I can do that, I can't drive the truck. So if it don't have brakes, I'm not going to drive it somewhere. So I got to impound the truck to
A government truck.
so I can do it. So I can do a vehicle evaluation on the truck to see if the brakes did fail. Well, I had Smith Wrecker was at the time. He was the only one that had a big wrecker to pull something like that. So I called, and I think he was on rotation anyway. So I called him. He come got the truck and impounded it over here on Belfort Road at his Smith's Body Shop.
Right.
And about 2 or 3 days later, Smith called and he said, I got a whole battalion of Marines out here with rifles. And he said, they come get that truck.
Oh.
I said, I can't. I said, I haven't had time to check it. I don't know who I can get. I said, I've got to get somebody to check it before we can release it. He said, no, they get in the truck. He said, I'm going to give it to them because they threatened me with rifles. I said, well, go ahead and let them have it. So after that, I went out to the base to the motor pool and got up with the gunnery sergeant that was in charge of the motor pool. And I got his name, and he was really nice. He said, Lieutenant, he said, there's nothing wrong with that truck. He said, we just had that truck in for maintenance. He said, everything was perfect right on it. He said, there's no problems with the brakes. I said, well, the guy's saying that he didn't have no brakes. He said, well, I can tell you. So I got his name down and put him down as a witness.
That story changed.
Well, anyway, after that, I got a call from Wally Paramore. He was assistant DA at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Wally said, we got a problem. I said, what's that? He said, under federal law, anybody that's on official government duty, doing official government business with an official government vehicle is exempt from all state law. I said, even murder? He said, yeah. He said, we can't try him. He said, we're going to have to transfer this to federal court. I said, well, let's see what we can do. I said, if we can't charge him under the state statute, I said, we'll just have to see. So anyway, we dismissed he had to dismiss the state charges. So we were going to federal court, and I went out to the base to try to get up with that gunnery sergeant that was in charge of the motor pool. Nobody could find him.
What country was he in?
He was in Iwakuni, Japan.
Wow.
I said, well, what about the 9 passengers that was in the back?
They're with him.
All of them were in Iwakuni, Japan. I didn't even get a chance to talk to them. So anyway, it went to federal court with Judge Larkins
Oh God, John Larkins.
Excuse
in Newbern, and the court declared me as an expert witness, and they said, well, if the brakes failed, they were claiming that they did some research out there and found a beetle in the brake cylinder or the brake reservoir. I said, well, it's funny. When I testified, I said, it seems funny to me that if the brakes failed on the vehicle, why, and I've got photographs, I said, why did it leave skid marks? If you got brakes failure, you wouldn't leave no skid marks.
Bingo.
And the judge
That's
looked
right.
at me, he looked at the DA, he looked at the defense attorney. They had Ernie Cisneros was already out of service, and he was in South New Mexico. That's where he lived at, and they brought him back. But they found him guilty. But he was really distraught about the whole thing. You know, when
I'm sure.
when you run over somebody, I never thought he did it on purpose.
No.
But anyway, they couldn't use that thing about the brakes failing because I had photographs and everything. I said, if your brakes fail, you don't leave skid marks.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's how we
That's
won that
where
case.
That's where photographic evidence.
But it went to the
immediately
it
comes
went
into
to the
play.
U.S. Supreme Court to get it in federal court. So the U.S.
Oh, it's like, what happened?
the U.S. Supreme Court says now, if they are outside of the base and they commit a crime in the state, now they can be
So
prosecuted.
your case was changed the whole rules.
That changed the rule.
That was good.
That was Wally Paramore. I'll tell you now. He went all the way to the Supreme Court with it to get the ruling on it, and it got that changed.
That's a tough call.
That law was made because of a postal case where a post office delivery person was delivering mail,
He got killed, yeah.
and no, they killed somebody.
Oh,
And-
the carrier did?
Yeah, and they had made that ruling way back then that somebody on official duty driving an official vehicle,
For the federal government,
you were exempt from state law.
Wow.
But that's how it got
We
changed.
need to do a PSA real quick. This just came across the sheriff's office app. There's been, and they're working the scene of a severe multi-car collision right there at Richlands Highway and Northwest Bridge Road. So you may experience delays, but they did say it was a severe multi-car
does it
crash.
say which lanes are blocked?
Well, there, if it's on,
If it's Northwest Bridge Road, it's probably the lanes going towards Richlands.
In
I would
Gum Branch?
imagine, yes.
I'm sorry, Gum Branch.
No, 250 Richlands Highway.
Yeah.
Find another way around it, folks. If you got to go that way, if you got to be somewhere today, find another way around it.
Right. Do
You got
that.
a GPS? Look it up.
Now, Jack, during all your years with the Jacksonville Police Department, I'm sure that there was different. You lost some officers during that time.
Yeah, Terry Lanier worked for me.
I remember
Um,
Terry.
It was we always, as part of the governor's highway safety program, we were given traffic reports every morning to a local radio station. We would
Right.
actually tell them on that report where we'd be working radar at.
Mhm.
We'd tell them where the traffic was heavy. Terry did that report that morning, and as soon as he left the station, we had a staff meeting that morning. It was that particular morning we had a staff meeting. The chief had all the command people in a staff meeting, and while we were in the meeting, I got a call saying Terry's been involved in a officer down, and we all jumped up and jumped in our cars and went out to Bryn Mawr Road there by
Was it by
Belfort
Gibson's?
Road.
Now,
And,
he also had, Jerry had come on the department because he had an uncle working at the department.
J.C.
at the time.
Lanier was
Yep.
J.C. Lanier was his
Sergeant.
uncle,
Yeah.
and Terry was one of the. He wanted to be a police officer all his
Mhm.
life, and he went to Coastal Carolina and got his 2-year degree in criminal justice before he came to work for us. The nicest person you ever want to meet. Easygoing, very good officer, smart. We had a call about a person that was mentally disturbed that was in a program over here on us. I think it was on not Corbin, but
Center Street.
Center Street,
Yep.
I believe.
It was.
And
And he got away.
he had walked off of the job. He had walked off the job, and they were looking for him. And Terry ran across him over there on Bryn Mawr Road and tried to talk to him. And he, some way or another, he got behind him, and stabbed Terry in the leg to start with, and then he stabbed Terry in the carotid artery on his neck. Of course, that was
Fatal.
yeah. He didn't. It's the same. It's just almost the same injury that, even though Charlie Kirk's injury was with a bullet,
Right.
this was the same type of injury. And I talked to the doctor at the hospital, and the doctor told me at the hospital emergency room, he said if Terry had been on the operating table, that happened. He said we couldn't have saved him.
Right.
And then we got missing. The guy was mentally disturbed, and he went into Rudy Medina tried to stop him after he stabbed Terry, and he wouldn't stop. And then he tried to attack Rudy, and Rudy shot him. It wasn't fatal, but we had to stand guard on that guy for several weeks at the hospital, knowing that he had killed Terry, knowing that he was mentally ill. That was the hardest thing for the officers to have to do, to watch somebody that they knew that had killed an officer. But anyway, he is still in mental institution and not ever been
Still
released.
alive?
He's still alive.
Wow.
Still alive. Well, the other case was Jerry Barber. He had stopped there by
Yep.
where City Hall is now. It's Belks then. Don, one of the police officers had stopped a guy for traffic
I'll give you
violation.
the name in a minute, Don.
Policino?
No.
that was
No, Don.
Anyway, he had stopped a car there for traffic violation, and Jerry pulled up behind him to see if it was late at night on the midnight shift. So Jerry pulled up behind him to see if he could help him. And as Jerry was getting out of the car, a drunk come along and caught Jerry between his car door and the bumper of the car the drunk was driving, and kept on going. Jerry Reed got on the phone and he told the dispatcher, he said, call the main gate. He said, we're looking for such and such a vehicle with damage on the right front bumper. It was a pickup truck, and weren't but a few minutes, the base main gate called and said, we got him. We got him stopped out here at the main gate. And he was charged with Jerry Barber's death. Then, and I hate it, but I was actually working on all these. I was actually working those times on duty. And then Bill Whitehead got missing from court. He didn't show up for court. So Chief Halbert and them said, we got to find him. We don't know what's going on. We got to find him. So we found his car down at the very dead end of New Bridge Street. You know, the New Bridge Street used to go where the sheriff's water is, and dead end there at the water. We found his car there, and I was assigned, me and John Corey were assigned to search that area on the riverbank. And then other people had other areas that they searched. So John and I were walking, and we went by the Pelletier house, and where the Pelletier house is. Went by the Pelletier house and went to the old bridge. Under the bridge, you know, it's a sandy area because grass don't grow there. And lo and behold, we seen a scuffle. And I found, not this one, but found Bill's billy club, or his
The flat one.
Slapjack.
Yeah,
his badge, found his badge
Oh.
and his radio. and we could see there was a scuffle there. So John and I immediately called the chief and said, "Chief, we found Bill's ID card, his badge, his radio, and everything right here. It looks like there was a scuffle." So the crime scene guys got there, and I think they called. I believe Paul. I'm thinking Paul because he was on the dive team, Paul Buchanan, and maybe Paul can straighten that out if it wasn't him. But I told him, I said, "Look, there by that piling," I said, "I see a bubble." I said, "Don't mean nothing." I said, "But I see a
It
bubble."
does mean something.
I said, "I see a bubble there." And sure enough, they went down and they brought Bill up. They had attacked Bill. He had caught them. I don't know what they were doing under there, but he had caught them under the bridge, either with drugs or whatever. And they took Bill's handcuffs, handcuffed him, and drug him out there and drowned him there under the old bridge, under the bridge. There was another lady that had picked those guys up after that case. Her name was Mrs. Tenor. She drove Able Cab, had an Able Cab company.
Okay.
But she's the one that was instrumental in my knowledge of locating who those guys were and describing them. And I think they finally caught them. I don't think they ever found Bill's. I don't remember if they ever found Bill's gun or not. But
Did they? Were they? One of them. I wasn't here. Going back, but was one of them? Maybe his wife or sister was either a suspect that Whitehead had for drugs or something. Was there some connection that they knew him?
I know
one of them knew him.
They could have been. I don't remember the details. I wasn't. I wasn't investigating that.
Somebody called me to talk to me about it, and God, that's been a long time ago.
But that was the two officers that we from JPD that we all lost, and of course Jerry Barber was a friend of mine too from the sheriff's office.
How do you deal with that loss?
It's hard. It's hard that we were working with somebody that morning and then going to the hospital and seeing them not there no more. It's really tough. It's really tough for anybody. Psychologically, it bears on you. And
do you lose any people from the department when things like that happen?
People quit?
No, not that I know of. I think most everybody at that time were eager to. I think your brother was working with me in traffic division at that time, Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jerry was. It was Jerry, Roland Melton, Terry Lanier. Seemed like there was somebody else.
Terry and Jerry, Jerry's wife was Terry's cousin, and is Terry's cousin. You know,
but the insurance money that they got from Terry's death, Terry had left some way or another. He had left all of his belongings to his mom and dad, and they actually were the beneficiary of his because he wasn't married at the time.
Right.
I think his mom and dad they took the money and actually they lived in more or less a cracker box type house there on Drummer Kellum Road, and they took the money and built a nice brick home with it in memory of Terry because that's what Terry would have wanted.
Oh,
anyway.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't working the early morning hours around 5, back during the gas crisis of 74-ish, were you? Do you recall anybody, a young Marine from Stella, having to drive didn't have enough money to get gas, couldn't get gas, to drive all the way from Stella to the air station, as I recall it was. And so he had a horse.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And he decided to ride the horse.
Well,
and a lieutenant at the time named Mr. Shiver.
He was well in his rights because the guy violated it was a safety thing, really. But they made a mockery out of that. The newspaper and
it was funny. It was funny. It was real.
I wished I had that drawing that was in the paper.
It was a photograph that was in the paper. It was a doctored photograph because the horse was there.
waste disposal hooked on the back of the horse.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Uh, it had
I didn't see that one. But,
signal lights hooked up to the horse, and it had
yeah, 'cause it did not have tail lights or a headlight and working after dark.
yeah, it was, and it really was a danger. You can
It's
imagine.
totally dangerous.
You can imagine on Johnson Boulevard at night, and that's what he was
right
that's what
there
he
at
was-
Cheney Avenue
that's what he
about
was-
5 o'clock in the morning, and it was wintertime because it was cold.
Well, that was Troy took a beating over that. He took.
Well, he didn't do the ticket. I think Raymond Simmons did the ticket, if I recall right. But Troy told him to do it.
I can't remember now, but Troy is the one that was taking all the heat. For
Yes,
it
he was.
because Troy supported it. But one day, Mary Rafferty worked for me. She was a sergeant, and I was had the traffic division. You remember
Yeah,
Mary?
she married Tom, and
Yeah,
he used to
Tom
work
Rafferty.
for me.
Her name was Ritter, Mary
Right,
Ritter.
right.
But anyway, we all got paid every 2 weeks, and that time we didn't have direct deposit. We all got checks, so we decided the four of us to go to the bank. I said, let's run to the bank, cash our check down Triangle. So me and Ken Smith, Mary Rafferty, I think Billy Houston was in the car. We had four of us. So we got to the bank there in Triangle.
For Citizens, I think it was.
Got in the line. We got in line, in the traffic line. And when cars behind me, and there was a traffic island on both sides, we got a call that the bank next door was being robbed.
Holy moly!
So there we couldn't get out of line, so we
left the car.
So no, we went ahead and cashed our check.
We got priorities here.
So we couldn't get out of line, so we went ahead and I think we were next up. So we cashed our check, and they gave the description of the guy that was robbing the bank. So after we got our check cashed, we got the description, I turned around and I said, well, let's go down Broadhurst Road there by Beecham's apartment. Sure enough, the description of the guy walking on the side of the road with a pillowcase.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
I had an unmarked car.
That's crazy.
So I pulled up on the road and checked his hands and make sure I didn't see nothing, and told him to hold up. Mary and Ken Smith jumped out of the car and they run around and grabbed a hold of him and said, you fit the description, the guy just robbed the bank. And he said, yeah, I did.
We'll just get this over with right now.
Had a bag full of money and they had the gun in the bag.
Oh, wow.
But we made that call. I know that some of the detectives, they were all out scrambling around looking. And here we were, already had the guy in custody.
Hey guys, this is what we got.
made those guys mad because they said, you got the caller and you weren't even looking for him. I said, well, we're traffic division. We do a lot of stuff.
That guy belongs on Dumb Crypt News.
Absolutely.
But he lived, he was related to, not related, he was friends with one of the Beecham boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably
And
Steve.
they had given him an apartment there at Beecham's to stay in.
Oh.
So he was walking back to his apartment, carrying the dough, the stolen money in a pillowcase.
Oh, you got to pay his rent.
That's another dumb crook news.
It was
You're
in the
right,
county at the
Chris.
time, but on Western at the bank, same bank that Schrader robbed. Somebody else came in to rob it. And it was a county case. But as they were leaving the bank, they're going across and headed towards Maypatch. You know where Maypatch is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not a whole lot of buildings out there at the time. And they had crammed the money and stuff in their pockets, and the dye pack went off in his back pocket.
It went off and blew the seat of his britches out.
Hospital
Wow.
time, here we come.
And then he went and hid in one of those oversea crates behind the
You
storage.
remember it
company.
well, yeah. It's hard not to laugh at those things when
It
they
is.
happen.
Yeah,
It's called karma.
there's a
So
lot of-
many stories.
A lot of good stories. There's thousands. That was some that I just jotted down last night. That
Who's the
Right.
funniest cop that you ever had to deal with? Situations besides Buchanan.
Probably Grumpy Marshburn.
Grumpy Marshburn. William Marshburn.
I think I've told you this before, or maybe I told Rayford, but Grumpy, Chief Cook wouldn't hire him because he was too short.
He's a firefighter.
Yeah, he was a fireman. And so anyway, he talked the chief into letting him get on the reserve. So he got on the police reserves, and chief still wouldn't hire him. So he went over to see Bill Woodard, and Bill Woodard hired him over there at the sheriff's office as a deputy. And he stayed over there for a while and got his certification and everything. And then he came back, and Chief Cook went ahead and hired him as a police officer. Well, one night working, I think it was on the evening shift, maybe it was a midnight shift. But anyway, they got looking for Grumpy and couldn't find him. So they got on the radio and called him and said, Grumpy, what's your 1020, which is location? He said, I'm down here by Swansboro Bank on 24. Well, what are you doing down there? And then he realized that he was not on the sheriff's department.
Whoops. I was having a flashback.
Oh my God.
Anyway, they told him to get his behind back to the city limits before he belonged.
So I wonder radio actually worked that far.
Wow.
And then he was driving down the road, and he smoked, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he rolled the window down, and the back window was already down. He threw that cigarette out, and it went right out the front window and back in the back.
Oh my gosh.
And he stopped at the traffic light
This is
there
a
by
fireman, y'all. This is a
Right,
fireman,
right.
but he turned police officer.
He stopped there by Lejeune Motors at the traffic light, and a car pulled up beside and said, "Officer, your car's on fire." And he looked at the bag, and he opened the door and took the back seat, popped it out and threw it on the ground. And man, then another time we used to have the spotlights on the pillar
Yeah.
Right.
arm, and it got expensive to put them in. And then when you got ready to get rid of the
Take them
car,
out and patch it.
you leave a hole there. So I wondered, Chiefs, I don't know if it was Chief Halbert or Chief Bumgarner, but one of the ones said, we're going to go to portable spotlights, plug them in, and then,
Yeah.
well, that didn't work too good
Oh
either.
no, he left it on.
Left it on, laid it on the
Laid
seat,
on
Those
his-
are fun.
Oh.
burn a hole in the seat,
Oh
melted
my
the
gosh.
seat, because the seats were vinyl then. You couldn't put fabric seats in there.
Oh.
No, not the police car. It soak up blood and sweat. No,
Yeah.
no more than that.
But anyway, that's another one we had was, I don't know if you remember him, Dick Towers.
I do.
Yeah,
He was about 6'6". He was,
No, I left in 76.
oh,
I
he
remember
was,
him.
he was tall. He was walking downtown, and somebody pulled up, a visitor pulled up and said, "Officer, I need to know how to get to City Hall." Or I forgot where he told him. He looked at me, he said, "You can't get there from here." And then he was walking over, and he went over to the post office in Northwoods Shopping Center,
Okay.
and they put the flagpoles out, on the post around
Mhm.
there. And he was so tall,
He ran into it.
his head hit it
Oh.
and cut his head. And he tried to sue the Northwoods Shopping Center for placing that that sign or that flag too close to the to his height, which nobody else was that tall. I mean, you could walk on. I'd have probably 6 or 8, 10-inch clearance, but not him.
Wow.
But
That's
the other
nice
ones was the
stories.
one that jacked the car up using the fender,
Mhm.
or the one that jacked the car up using their pistol for the
Oh.
jack handle.
I can't believe that.
Oh, that happened. That happened.
I'll be going, use yours, not mine.
Oh, no.
I had one, we used to have the city jail in the back.
Yes.
You'd have a temporary lockup while you're booking
Holding
people.
cell,
Holding
right.
cell. Well, anyway, there was a bathroom right there.
Sort of.
And one of the officers went back there, used the bathroom, and hung their gun up on the coat rack, a little ring. And they let the guy out to go to the bathroom, and he got a hold of that gun. He was back there in the cell just shooting rounds off, and they had to wait till he run out of ammunition before they could go in there and get him out.
Oh my God.
My God. I didn't hear about that. I was gone.
Oh, wow.
I do remember there in that little room where the lockers were. I go in to start working one day, and the guy that was working the desk had a gas mask on, and the fire department had exhaust fans set up.
Mhm.
Remember the tear gas grenade that rolled out of the locker and went off when they hit the floor?
Yeah.
Somebody had put a tear gas grenade overhead, opened it up. When it hit, it broke off the top.
Oh.
City Hall had to be evacuated.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember Chief Cook was had somebody come in, a Lance Corporal that was wanting to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So Chief come in and had him come into his office, and Chief was sitting in there with the applicant or the person that being interviewed, and asked him. He said, "Are you married?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know anything about guns?" He said, "Yeah, I know a lot about guns in the military." And Chief Cook reached over there and pulled up a pump 12 gauge shotgun and said, "You know much about this gun?" And the guy said, "Yeah." He said, "That's a pump 12 gauge," and he jacked one in the round, and it went off and went right through the roof. And we ain't seen that applicant since.
Oh my God.
He left, and we hadn't seen that applicant.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny.
The chief also carried, in those days, 38 specials were issued. And then some people would buy 357s. Chief carried a 45 automatic.
Yep.
A government issued 45
Right.
automatic.
Yep.
That had apparently seen better days. Remember the time that they had unloaded and then reloaded and went to put one in the chamber and were full magazine, and they went full auto.
I don't remember that.
All the rounds went off into the ceiling. Thank God it was only a 7-round magazine.
We had a couple of chairs in there that had holes in the back where somebody had discharged their gun in the back of a chair.
Mm.
I know that Sammy Phillips arrested a guy one night and handcuffed him to one of those chairs.
Yeah.
And went to get some paperwork.
Did he steal the chair?
The chair, the guy, all of it gone. We ain't found him.
Oh, I can't wait to see him.
Mr. Mayor. We got a chat.
We hadn't found the chair or the guy. Never.
And
Really?
they had to get some new handcuffs.
Yep, never found him or the chair.
Oh my, what was he being booked for?
Who knows? Probably drunk
I
in those days.
I can't remember now, but it was something they needed to be handcuffed for.
Probably drunk would be it.
I have got to ask him about this.
Yes, your neighbor.
Oh yeah.
Well, Sammy, he was involved in we all had wheel guns, and Sammy got permission to get a semi-automatic 9mm. I think it was a Beretta. I'm not sure. But anyway, he was made a drug arrest down by the Court Street and Tallman Street, and the guy ran, and the guy started shooting at Sammy. So Sammy pulled out that semi-automatic and shot the guy. Shot him right in the private parts.
Hurt too, didn't it?
And but then he probably would have killed him, but Sammy's gun locked up, jammed up. And I know we got a call from the sheriff's department saying, "Hey, who's going to pay for all these windows shot out now in the sheriff's office and the jail?"
Okay.
Sammy would probably be a better one to tell that story.
We're gonna find out.
But that was the case, and a lot of times, a lot of officers after that didn't want to get involved in a semi-automatic gun.
They had a bad reputation. Well, a lot of it was ammo. A lot of it was the gun wasn't set up right to begin with, even from the factory.
Yeah.
The first ones I remember for law enforcement was actually the Model 39 Smith. So
we have them what they call a stovepipe.
Yep.
That jams them.
If the ammo's not right, it will do it. Or if your gun's not set up right, it will do it.
There's a lot of things that can happen if you don't keep it good and clean.
It will happen.
That's why it's so important. Well, you can see this gun here, how I kept it.
Beautiful.
But I kept all my guns. Matter of fact, Chief Albert used to come back and he'd say, how about can you take care of my gun for me? I had my gun cleaning kit right there at my desk, and
Sure.
I'd clean it, and it would be just as clean as that.
Folks, a lot of you, if you've got concealed carry permits and you're carrying your gun all the time, if you don't, there's something when you carry one concealed, especially. There's something called lint. You get it in your navel. You can get it in your gun. And if it gets in there in the wrong places at the wrong time, you might get off one round or you might not. But chances are you will have jams. Clean your dang guns on a regular basis.
That's for sure.
And because you are up next to your body, you can also sweat on them. So
That is for sure.
bad for you.
Wow.
Okay. Jack, it's a pleasure, sir.
Oh wow!
Thank
I could just. Can we just take another hour? The stories are
We can
great.
come back.
We didn't even get into being a chairman of the commissioners.
Oh, that was the easy part.
I know it. But I enjoyed the stories, and you brought up a lot of names that I haven't heard in a long time. John Corey, I dated him one time when I was in
Did
high
you?
school.
Really?
Sure did.
John is
John and I dated. It was a very short
John-
period, but
Why?
John and I were good friends. Him and I were roommates. I had a place up on Kellum Loop Road, and John had, he bought Foster Carter's Corvette, and I had a Corvette, and we kind of.
I remember the days you were a Corvette freak there for
Yeah,
a while.
I had
You and Ed Brown.
Ed Brown too. We always palled around. Yes, but anyway, John left the department and went to work with LAPD,
oh,
and then he went to work with Tacoma, Washington PD.
wow.
Then he got out of that and got back into the Army.
Didn't
And
know that.
yeah, and then he was stationed in Iraq. He was a training person for the evidence processing for Iraqi
Wow.
police department.
Well, that was
But
easy.
didn't he go to Alaska, move to Alaska?
He was
or
in
something?
Alaska.
Last
He was
I
on
heard.
Alaska
Right.
Police Department, and then he went to he was with the State Department.
My goodness.
And
Uh,
one time,
is that what he told you?
yeah, well, I know for a fact that he had high priorities or clearance because we were going to the base fireworks show,
Mhm.
and he was coming here. His son got in the Marine Corps and was stationed here for a while. So John come down to visit him, and John called me and said, "I'll be down such and such a date." And I said, "Well, good." I said, "You can go to the fireworks show with Robin and I." He said, "Okay." I said, "Meet me." I said, "Because you have to have a guest invitation to get in the general's quarters for that roped
Right.
off area."
Yeah.
So I didn't see him. We got out there and I didn't see him. And next thing I knew, he was tapping me on the shoulder. I said,
Oh.
how did you get in here? He said, "I've got clearance from the White House to go anywhere, anytime I want to." And he showed me his card.
I'm glad he did so well.
Next thing I know, he was talking to General Dickerson and carrying on a conversation about, the State Department and all that.
Right.
So he was pretty much entrenched with that. But he retired now and he lives in Oregon.
Wow.
And I contact him occasionally.
Do you?
And he's just been an old friend of mine.
I think he was a senior and I was a junior. He went to Dixon, I think it was, because he lived out in Verona. And of course, I was at Jacksonville.
He worked
we-
with a security company before he come on the police department.
Right. Yeah. We had a lot working for us before
Yeah.
they went on the sheriff's.
Yeah, I think Bill Whitehead worked with
Bill
us.
Whitehead,
Yeah, he
as
did.
soon as he got out of the military, he
That's
came
how I
to
remember
work for
Bill. I
us.
was gone, of course, when he would join the police department, but I remember him at
I bought all my
'cause he-
Avon.
He worked pretty well with Reed, helping him
So
do some
nice.
things too, back even when he was with the security company.
Yeah, his wife Joanne sold Avon. So when Bill would come in to get paid, Joanne would bring in her Avon books, and I would sit there and just order. Good people.
Well, those days will things has changed.
We'll
you
live
know,
in
so
history
much.
forever, though.
Things have changed so
Mhm.
much, and there's so many stories I can sit down and at home I got a bunch of newspapers where
You kept all that stuff.
I kept all the stuff
Wow.
and all the articles
That's cool.
that I was involved in. or most all of them, and that's how I remember some of the stories. But
Nice.
anyway, it was. I never regret being on the police department. Never regret being, in the county government. But you didn't get paid good for it, but you were rewarded in the appreciation that people had for what you did.
One of the reasons that the state decided to come up with training and standards, if I don't know whether you remember the history about that or not, so they could get the salaries up above 6,000. They could get the salaries, minimum salary, up to $6,000 at police departments across the state, up to $6,000.
Yeah, well, Chief Albert was instrumental in he was on the Association of Chiefs of Police president, chairman. And he worked with our legislators to get the 401k for the officers and the retirement supplement program. So if you retired, once you retired, you started getting a supplement from the city.
Yep.
That took the place of Social Security until you got old enough to draw Social Security, and then that would go away and you would draw the Social Security. And that was in place. And then the 401k, the cities were, for law enforcement across the state, were matching the 401k and putting in a certain percentage of your salary into that. You could put into it also.
Even small department like Carolina Beach and Curie Beach were doing that.
But the last 9 years I worked with the city, I didn't take a single raise. I put every bit of my raise into the 401k.
Smartest thing you've ever done.
Smart.
And then, when I retired, I was able to roll that over into my retirement, the 401k, and it boosted my retirement monthly benefit over $600 a month.
Wow. Now, what year did you retire?
2000.
2000.
So I've been retired 25
We
years.
sure have.
Seemed like yesterday, though.
I know. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Matter of fact, when I had they had a little retirement party for me, and Ed Brown come over. He said, "You going to retire? What are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know. I've got a farm. I can probably go out and work on my farm." He said, "How about you want to be a commissioner?"
I was just going to ask you, what year did that start?
2000.
Wow.
I ran the first term as a Democrat. Delmer Collins ran as a Republican.
Right.
Delmer come in number 1 on the ticket, and I come in number 3 as a Democrat at that time.
Wow.
Of course, I had to switch my party because everything was going Republican.
Right.
And if you didn't run on Republican tickets, you didn't get elected.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the way it came. Because back in the day, there were no Republicans in Oslo.
That's right. It was mostly Democrat. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
We'll come back on Monday.
I could just spend another hour listening to stories.
Yeah, he's got a lot of them. There's
Yes.
no doubt about it.
And thank you for everything that
Appreciate
you've
you.
done.
You
for
can
us.
leave the Model 64 here if you like.
That's
I
nice.
will find a good place for it.
Yeah. No, that's a beautiful gun.
Better hang on to it.
Yeah, you better.
I got that one, and they gave me my 4586. It's a
Yep.
Smith & Wesson 4586.
Yep.
Wow.
It's really heavy, but it was a gun I carried, and that's what I retired with, and
That's good.
they awarded me that gun when I retired. So
Well, nice.
Very good.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
We look forward to doing this again.
Yeah. We'll bring up some old stuff about Wormy one of these days.
Oh,
Kavanaugh.
There's so many others too.
He was funny.
yeah,
Graham
I've got some
Kavanaugh.
pictures of him in
Do you?
that folder. Yeah,
Mhm.
where he worked a hit and run death hit
Wow.
He
on
worked
Market Street.
Well, he did the Jerry Barber thing too. He photographed that because
Mm.
Yeah.
he called me. I was in Wilmington and I had access to a full photo lab because I worked at one part time.
Oh.
And he brought me the film
My goodness.
and processed it for him
Oh.
immediately, and he took it home with him.
Well, you guys have a good weekend.
All right,
Thank
yep,
you so
too.
much.
Oh wow! Yeah, we could talk for a long time.
I
on this.
know. I love listening to the old stories.
Yeah, and as time goes by, all of our memories, memories tend to fade, and you pick up and see, when somebody like that reminds you of stuff.
Right. He
It
brought
comes-
up
it comes back.
names.
Frank
Right.
Carson. I knew it was Frank. I just could not remember his last name. I call him Frank Jones for the longest time.
I just
Specific
remember those
laws.
names growing up through that era, and then, going into business as an armed security guard,
Mhm.
having that business and associating a lot with. At one time, everyone that we had working for us ended up going to the sheriff's office or the police department.
Right.
And so I knew everybody.
It was a good training ground for them.
Yeah, it was. It was very good. Anyway.
All right, we're going to be gone. We're going to be back on Monday, and we'll try not to scare anybody. And if I offended anybody with a bat, too bad. Because it's fun.
It was fun.
We're gonna
It
have
was
fun.
fun.
And we're going to do it our way from time to
I
time.
have to admit it.
And,
Yes.
if you don't like it, it's okay. You know what? There's a whole lot
I'm
of
going
stuff.
to get
I
my
don't like.
ticket for the game tonight.
Yeah, you got to get our tickets for the game tonight. Well,
Mhm.
remind me, just send me the link again.
I will.
Because every time I go to it, unless I click on the link you send me,
Right.
it takes me to some place.
Yeah, you have to know
in
where to go.
Yonderland.
Right.
So,
Well, when I get home, I'll order my ticket and then I'll send you the link.
okay.
But don't forget Cardinals 7:00
And
tonight,
what time am I picking you up?
5:22.
There you go. My wife and I will be there with bells and whistles on
You have my seat.
and some warm
Yes.
clothes.
Yes,
You got your battery?
yes, I have both batteries.
So you've got them charged.
yes.
Very good. Ours are all charged up and ready to go.
Yep, I'm ready
These
to
are
go.
batteries for the
Seat warmers.
the weak, cold-natured individuals these days, and we have heated back and bottoms for our stadium seats, special ones. So
It should be really good tonight, and Chris Marsh is going to be the
Yeah.
PA announcer for the Jacksonville
Yeah.
side, so we'll know what's going on.
yeah, I'll be able to
Can't wait.
understand what's happening.
Yes.
We'll see you on Monday morning.
All right.
We got somebody. We don't have any
We have Cindy Edwards. She is a councilwoman that's running for
dancing
re-election.
stars of Onslow
Saturday
County
night.
tomorrow
That's right.
night. Tomorrow night. If you don't have tickets, you better get online and see if you can find some.
Right,
Okay.
right.
It's going to be a huge event. We've interviewed every one of the stars,
Yes, we have.
all 9 of them, and it's going to be good.
Yes.
It's going to be great. And we will have a good time watching it. I hope you're
Yeah.
there. And if you're there, just kind of look for us and come by and say, hey, I don't know what I'm going to wear. I think
Clothes.
maybe I'll wear something obnoxious.
Okay.
I wore a tuxedo one year.
Well, that was
Just
nice
because.
because you were dancing that year, weren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I did that when I was
Alright.
dancing, but that was for the second dance. But I did it just to go one year. Just
I believe
just
the
to
doors
be-
open at 5, and that's kind of like happy hour, and then
Yeah.
hors d'oeuvres and
Yeah.
drinks
You
and
got
stuff.
orders,
And then goes into dinner.
drinks to begin with, and then the meal comes with the tickets. The
Right.
orders come with the tickets. Your adult beverages do not
Mhm.
come with the tickets, but you can get a couple tickets when you get there.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, see you there.
Bye. Have a great weekend. See you tonight at a ball game. Please come up and say howdy if you would. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right. You're live in local real talk. We're awake, not going to be woke, and we'll be back on Monday, awake and not woke. Have a great weekend.